nomming him, and good guy. Our condolences. Thursday, April 15th, 2021. The link brought to you by East West Rental, Calvo Enterprises, Carrier, IT&E, and Jack in the Box. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a fan favorite, starring Jason Salas.
Does your agent give you residuals every time you do this? There's got to be some monetary benefit for you.
For the ladies in the audience, Jason Salas.
And our viewer count just went to zero. Well, fortunately, we are talking about a very, very wonderful event and an organization that is doing amazing things for a very strong and very proud part of our community. We as Guamanians, Chamorros, people of Guam heritage, we have so many cultural parallels with people of Hispanic heritage. And so we welcome very happily into the KUM News Zoom room the Hispanic Heritage Association of Guam. They have a outreach campaign going on. There's a Spanish Mass coming up. So we go to the Anderson Office of Public Affairs, as I understand it, where we have good morning and half a day.
Good morning. Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, very, very good to see you. We're so pleased and proud to have you on the show. Thank you for what you do for our island community, for networking and for sharing Hispanic culture with us every year. Like I just said, I mean, there's so many ways that that what has become Chamorro culture and the way it's changed and evolved over the years. We're still aware of the roots in Spanish culture because of our history and when the Spanish came over here. So I mean, there is that sense of reverence for family, for a strong belief in faith, our reverence for the elderly, educating the children and everything like that. So I mean, certainly you could talk about it way better than I can. So if you can, just introduce yourselves, please, and talk about like what you are doing with the Hispanic Heritage Association.
Okay, my name is Mari Flor. I am originally from Puerto Rico, and I'm a member of the Hispanic Heritage Association of Guam. As an association, we promote and we try to educate people and ourselves as well about Hispanic heritage here in Guam and in other countries. Since we are minority population, but we also need to be aware that here on island and on base, we have different people and members that represent other countries such as Mexico, Peru, Puerto Rico, and other Hispanic countries. And I'm just gonna let Master Sergeant.
So good morning, Master Sergeant Domenico Ree. I'm the current president of the Hispanic Heritage Association. We are a private organization that we are not part of the DoD. We are mostly military members and dependents from Anderson Air Force Base. However, we do have outreach to all of the other military communities on the island, as well as off-base members. We do run a Facebook page. You could find us at Hispanic Heritage of Guam. We do have members that are here in Guam currently and people that are off island. And we even have people from Spain that have reached to us because they're curious about how is Guam and what is the relation between Guam and the Spanish. We have over 300 years of Spanish history. Little background about myself, I was born and raised in South America. My parents are Korean, but I was born in Brazil, but I was raised in Argentina. So my first language was Spanish. So I have a vast, years of speaking Spanish. That's my first language. One of the things that we want to do as an organization is make sure that we educate others about the Hispanic culture. And also we want to promote the cultural diversity. Not every country that speaks Spanish has the same culture. We are very diverse. So we want to kind of bring them all together and just kind of learn from each other, learn from our past, and kind of move forward and bring them all together as one.
Outstanding. So Sarge, first of all, we thank you for your service for our nation and our island. We truly do appreciate what you do and your training and your sacrifice and your dedication. So let's talk about as you said, you're looking to educate, to promote the culture of Spanish-speaking countries, but also to network with other people on Guam who may be from countries and maybe from Hispanic heritage and everything. How many members do you have right now?
It's kind of hard to tell how many members we have because mainly we are here at Anderson, so we have people coming and going, with the moves. I'll say there's about 50, 60 families that are pretty much active with us. We do have a lot of members that are not so much active members, but they follow our Facebook page. We do put events out there. And of course, last year due to COVID, we haven't been able to do any events. But previously, we had done some picnics, some Easter egg hunts. And right now, as you had mentioned earlier, we were able to provide a venue so that we could have a mass in Spanish, which is something that a lot of our members have been requesting for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's a mass in Spanish.
Because it's such a wonderful thing, because of, again, like the way our culture has so many similarities to that of Spain is, the wonderful opportunity to come together and to fellowship and to socialize together and to not only eat a meal, but to prepare a meal and then to pray together, and then to even do things that, a lot of people that aren't from this part of the world, they maybe take for granted, like what a joy it is to clean up together after you've made, after you've had like a wonderful meal and just, helped out with the kids and everything. So how can people participate in this Spanish Mass if they would like to attend and they would like to be part of the Mass?
We are trying to reach the community in general. We're trying to go off base more often. We're willing to do meetings and do activities off base so people can join us and they can learn with us. We can get together, we can meet each other. We also have a Facebook group page, mm-hmm. and they're more than welcome to join us. We are also organizing other activities that would involve community in general. We are having the Spanish Mass. We're having another event coming up in April, which will be a cooking demo. It'll be here on base. But as I was saying, we're willing and we cannot wait to start doing events of base to get the community together. Mm-hmm. Our main event, it's mainly in September, and that's where we all get together. We all share about our different countries, our diversity, our cultural facts, our food. For me, the food is super important.
Yes, absolutely.
Because when it comes to food, you can tell we have a lot of things in common. We have spicy food in common. We have rice, the famous red rice as well. And yes, our main event will be in September, and we're just trying to get ready for that main event and that big event so we can have enough people and enough community to keep doing these amazing events. We also had a story time in Spanish story time. It was mainly for children, mm-hmm. but we were able to do it, and it was very, very successful, and we can also do it off base. We just need to reach to more people and to find Hispanic people and population around the island. Mm-hmm. I was surprised because I got to meet a lady from Venezuela, and she currently lives here in Guam, and for me it was a surprise because she was asking to reach, and she was wondering if there was more people from Venezuela here living on island. And I was like, interesting. But yes.
Well, of course, and one thing about people of Hispanic heritage is there's always a sense of, like taking care of each other and having this community service. And although the last year, maybe even 14 months has been so awkward for so many of us in so many different ways of life, Sarge, I'm sure you would agree, as a service member and everything like that, community service is in your DNA already. So, what plans do you have for the organization to do things like more different types of outreach or, to work with the community locally?
Yeah, so once a lot of the social distancing and a lot of the restrictions are kind of lifted, we do plan to do a couple of events. Summertime is coming up, so everybody wants to do some kind of picnic, and it would be nice to bring the local community. We do have a lot of Hispanics here on Guam, whether it be contractors or people that just settle out here. I remember taking a cab one time, and the driver was from Puerto Rico, and he has settled here many years ago. He was a retired Navy, and he would tell me like, yeah, we wish we would have more Hispanic food out here. Being out in the Pacific is very difficult. So for us in the service, we always have small events to bring the local Hispanic community, and a lot of people want to learn about the heritage. So maybe their parents or their grandparents were from a Hispanic country, and then they're trying to learn that. They're trying to get to know that. So we've been starting to do some events on base. Of course, with the restrictions we couldn't. So we've been mostly doing them virtually. But we are very, very looking forward to do events off base. We have been approached by a couple of organizations off base, and even from Spain, telling us that, hey, if we need any help, we're here for you. We'll do some webinars or any of the events. So we're open to suggestions. The big part that we do want is so when we do put the events, just participation. We are a small group of volunteers, but volunteer force is always needed to make an event successful.
Well, Sarge, you've got friends at KUM, and we've got your back. Anything we can do to help get the word out, or help get you in touch with people, it's what we do, and we're happy to do it because we organizations like yours mean so very much to ours and to the community. Because I wanted to say one thing that we haven't touched on that is such a huge part of Hispanic culture is song and dance, and that's almost been regardless of which culture your lineage is in. We haven't been able to do it in the way that we normally would like to. And that's why we're telling people, please go out and get vaccinated. Let's continue to make our planet, our global family, continue to get better. And hopefully we can get back to a point when we have events, when we can gather together and then dance and play music and sing together and everything like that. We'd really love to get back to that way of life.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're a radio station and we play music, but I would love to be able to, to go to a concert or to go to a fiesta and just be able to, just sing and dance again. I long for those days. Are you guys doing anything to maybe advocate for your members and like encourage vaccination and just tell your members, please do what's right and please be safe, or at least, pass on the information to them?
Well, we haven't done so yet, but we are probably looking into some kind of information. A lot of times, us being in the military, we do get information, but I'm sure the local community probably doesn't get it. So we'll probably work on touching bases with some of the agencies and see if there's any material in Spanish. Probably we do have a lot of dependents that their primary language is Spanish. Right. So we're probably gonna try to see if we can work some cooperation.
Mm-hmm. Have you networked with any other groups that happen to not maybe speak Spanish? Because we were saying earlier in the show that there are several groups, at least that we know of, up at Anderson and maybe down at Big Navy, that people of African American descent, or even people of Jewish descent, or there are Hebrew groups, and people of different culture groups, and they have networked among themselves. And I know that they've said they've wanted to fellowship with like other groups, and to exchange cultural to differences and to learn and to just make new friends.
Yeah, so we haven't been able to, of course, due to the whole pandemic, but there are plans. Yeah, we're always open for anybody, pretty much, if they're interested in learning the culture and sharing culture. So we're always open. We always have our doors open.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mariflor, I'd like to give you the final word because, again, just talking about the Spanish Mass that's coming out and the outreach that you're doing to make sure that we can make that a reality. It's going to be such a wonderful event, because whenever you say the word that there's Mass coming up, tell any self-respecting Guamanian, and they're immediately going to get dressed up and they're going to say, all right, I'm there. I've got my donation. I'm ready to pray. I've got my rosary beads and everything. I am there.
Yes, so, definitely.
Yeah. So what can people do if we would like to help out, or we'd like more information?
Right now, the only medium that we have, it is our Facebook page. You can message the page. We do have email address, which is Hispanic Heritage Guam @gmail.com. Mm-hmm. or just look us up on Facebook. It's Hispanic Heritage Association of Guam.
Okay, so Mayor Fleur,
And,
anything that you'd like to pass on to the community? Anybody watching this right now, or any shout outs you'd like to give to anybody watching this?
yes, if you're assisting, just make sure you follow the COVID regulations and, wearing a mask, social distance in the church. And Father Alberto is super excited for the Spanish Mass. He was the one who did the service in Spanish when El Cano ship came.
Mm-hmm.
And for that big event. And he's super excited, and he cannot wait to do the service in Spanish.
Yeah, that was a lovely mass. I remember we covered that, and it was very, very moving. So, okay, so Mayor Fleur Rodriguez and Master Sergeant Dime Ree of the Hispanic Heritage Association of Guam, thank you so much for what you do. I know your members appreciate it. It's a family organization. We're happy to have you here as part of our family on Guam. We hope we've been hospitable host to you out here, and we just thank you for your time and everything you're doing. You're part of the reason that makes Guam such a wonderful community to live in. And anything we can do to help get the word out, as I said, about your organization or any of the events you have, we're happy to help.
Especially if it means we're going to get free food,
Yeah.
free Hispanic food. Thank you, Mayor Fleur. Thank you, President.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you guys.
All right, thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.
That's it. They
All
just
right.
bring me in, and I just say, "Okay, guys, thank you."
Yeah. Hey, good people doing good things,
Right on.
for good reasons. I mean, you do something, you honor the generation that came before you. You continue to practice their traditions. Your grandparents are looking down on you, smiling right now. You're like, hey, you're doing good.
Hey, all right. You did all right.